So I figured out the problem, and I guess it wasn't the problem with the OBS, but how I was calling the I was saving it. So I used to have a way to do this. Let's try that out. So I called it rubber ducking, right? So it's like this. We have oh, that's the cactus thing. So here we can say OBS browser source bug initial assumptions. So here I'm just gonna say that to watch bot. Oh fuck. Anyway, that's the code. We have like we go to logs, right? Then here we can just copy this entire link, right? And we do this. We get that. So we have a date and things we typing. So it is kind of my own way to have a log system, and I save it with the extension called rubber duck. So if I have some thoughts, I save it as like dot rubber duck. So I'll be like talking to it, and after a while, like if something changes or so breaks, I could just go back and see I made these changes because like these were the thoughts I had, and this is the things I need to do. And yeah, so here uh, it's like solution my uh, have found is so the solution that I have found is I am previously saving the data as maybe saving maybe linking to the HTML file as uh, directly as the as a executable, I should be using the protocol starting with file. So that is a mistake we are doing, and let's try to fix it in the bot. We have this thing, right? And in input settings, we have the file path. So before the file path, we'll see saying this thing, and it should be working. So this is the one. Let's just remove the. Right now, the Snowball browser source doesn't have a the HTML file linked to it, right? So right now, when I give the command, the snowboard should be appearing, but it crashed. But it did bring the bring that one. Unable to find a property using that name. So I don't think we would needing that, but let's just comment it out because like there's something to be debugged here. Like right, okay, let's just remove the file. We have no URLs right now, right? We have no URLs. Hey, where's my OBS? Uh, Let me just check something. My video is not working. Okay. Oh, one moment. So okay. Anyway, so right now, if I just say VFX TS, this would bring that thing back to a snowball. So right now, we are doing the snowball generating one. So after this, we need to move it to the other spot. So that's how we do it. We are getting there. So we are getting there. That's nice. That's nice, right? Cheers. So the lighting is from the sun. I have my windows open, and so right now we can just do the moving thing. So let's try to make the different animation that is like throw snowball. Right? We're going to make it throw, throw snowball for this, and we have like index.html here. So in sprites we need to make another component which is the impact one, right? Or maybe like so. Uh, you guys can't see the code I'm changing, but I'm making some changes. Let me just hide the snowball thing. So this is on the Jaggery thing. I made a different folder, and this is what I came up with. We need to have like an animation being done there. So, and thank you for the previous chat. They have provided some code. Uh, just I could use it, but my workflow is kind of hard to integrate that because it's web components. I mean, just copy pasting it would be hard, but I could figure out like some of the code that we can use from the code when the previous chat I just shared. Uh, so um, I don't know why, but it's not loaded. So we are not getting the projects Jaggery. Actually, this is not the Jaggery slash Jaggery. That's how it should be right now. I don't know why. Maybe like, I just went a little bit too far. Probably. Yeah, that's why. I understand. Like it was here, then I was going over there. So yeah. So when I refresh, we have the both of those things, and right now let's just try to make them. Oh, you guys can't see my browser. Fuck. Yeah. So I did a lot of stuff using the browser, and only now I have been seeing like you guys were not able to see that. Uh, yeah. I need a parent container. Oh, I found the yeah. So if I have the parent container with the flex thing, and I can just remove this. So the flex is using this. Flex is row. Just uh, that's how it's supposed to be. Then so I should use the I should change the image. If I change the image, it's like I can change it accordingly. So it's like I think like this size is fine. So like 150 px, 150 px for images, snowball images, and from here we could say like what can we see? We haven't done anything over there. So and now we are doing the animation. The image. What I'm thinking is, so in Jaggery you have the component, right? So it's like the starting position and the ending position. So the starting component and the ending component, right? That thing is whole thing is another component, right? Another component that just uh, has like a starting component and an ending component. And this component, this the entire component, what it does is it it does just the animation, right? The start moves over here and it changes to that the other one. So that is like purely the animation one. So for this, then I can have the image sprite, that component separate, and the animation component separate, right? So animation component will have the image component and two image components, that is the start and the end. So it's like start to end animation, right? Move. That is the thing we are going to do right now. So a component that just moves from start to the end. That is the thing we can do. So the throw snowball. Let's just rename this as start start to start and animation. Start and move animation. So this is just move. For another one, what? Yes. Start and anime. Start and move animation. Right. So that is that. We have sprite animations. We have and start and move animations. That is actually not sprite animations. That are like uh, so image sprite container. That is correct. So start and move. Start and sprite move animation. Move to animation. Right. Start and sprite move to animation. start and sprite move to animation. This is good. Mm, I mean, പിന്നെ pop. So there are like two components inside that, just like start and right to animation. So this is kind of big, but I'll change that later. I could say it like from two. That's it. From two sprite and from two sprite. Yeah, from two sprite. From two sprite. So we have two containers, which is the first one is from this is the two. Like and inside there we have a dev container. Now, right. So here, so we have the from two. We need to get the container inside it. So I don't know if I have similar one. I have a similar one that I could use. That would be easier. Like the format, like assets, web components. Like there are not lot of projects who do much complicated stuff and simple. So I'm in that area, and it's kind of hard to find the code for it right now because this is like the bleeding edge, right? The bleeding edge. Daytime picker, no, emoji reactor. How is emoji reactor? So that is like this. I could also provide like just the image URL, but at the same time, like I won't be using the component. inside the component. Oh, that's going to be hard. So here, a text zoom, we did that for the text zoom. That was the whole thing we did. So here, it's the slot. Yeah, the slot is the one we have to be using, and in order to get the children's, this is the way. So yeah, we're creating a div element and creating the template and container template. We have the HTML. The template. We have a we create a template, and in the template we have a slot. So the text is div upon child content from cloud shadow upon child text. So slot on slot text query selector slot. We select the slot, then if slot children slot assigned elements children. If children data is equal to children line, children one child not value. Fonts to create element dev plus container box dev overlay set attribute class text sends inner text as any. So let I equals I less than element span inner text top spans. So these are all the animation steps. So only thing we need is the template and the slot. Slot is where the, the components get inside the web components. So if it's another web component, how does that work? A web component, like usually, like a standard HTML tag component is moving inside the web component, right? Right now we have two web components, right? Two custom components that we are doing. So a web component using another web component, another custom component. How does that work? That is like right now here what I do is like I have a slot and I'm using the normal HTML component, right? Look, normal what is standardized that is going inside this, but instead of going that we need like a web component, um, right? I mean we have a custom web component and we have another custom web component. So if this goes here, does web component know inside it how to do a web component thing? So in the slot thing, slot, does lot know uh, how to get the web component. I have to figure that out. Where I select this is till here. Yeah, this is the thing we need. Right. I'm just gonna paste that here. So we don't have a text, but instead of text, we can say this container. Oh, Jesus. This is my best guess. Fuck. Ooh. Um, ooh. Ah. Ooh. That is the things. Uh, no offense. The so so this is this, and if children does that, slot does this, text up in child, container, we're doing that, so slot. No, let's also So we just need to import it. This node could be, but so that will get the typing things uh, for that to make it work here. Let's just try to get the children's. So this is just going to console log separate thing. Right. So this like source, sweet, try, red, and so control plus. So this is where I just do this. And here, oh, right. We also need to get it over here. Can I find my text module? Module library serves web components right means web content. As not before export. We need to use import category instead. Yeah. Kenya. And we have a text here somewhere. This is the text. So instead of text, we can say container. Then we just fix it. And containers is declared. So what is containers? Children containers. Children is a law. So text. We don't have text. Containers. Right. And then we can do another console log which is outputs contain. So we see ing's write container is declared, but its value is never known. So we don't do that right now. Let's just see. Okay. Now so should be getting Facebook container. Because right, this is the children. This is the container. Nothing inside it. It's not what we want. Yeah, nothing inside it. We didn't get anything. So HTML container adventure template. So container adventure template. So we have a slot on container. So the slot thing, what does the slot have? Query selector container. Look inside the container. So anyway, you have a div element and you have a template element. Template element has a slot. So the slot will bring in the components from the HTML into here. So again, inside the container development, we attach the template. So right now the slot, the components in that slot goes into the template and it's attached to the div, right? So oh, I need this to be over here because after that, then only like it's not in the shadow. So once I do the query selector doesn't work because it's not in the shadow, so we get nothing. So we have to do that. Template content control. Template is this thing. If we don't need this anymore, wait, refresh that. So right now we have it. So the first thing we have three choose ones. Three is sprite, sprite container. So this is the one that contains that. Where is this being provided? Inside the container, we have what is inside of that. Okay, children length. So container query selector slot children equals assigned elements. What is assigned elements? Need to check that, that components have a lot of tabs open. So this we don't need, no need, no need, no, 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 no. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, yes, we got it clean. Yeah. Using the inheritance sequence of the elements assigned to the source and no other nodes. Jonas vector starts Okay, let's try to use the assigned slots instead of assigned elements. Do we have a text? So it's calling it twice. Checking it twice. What is it? Yes, it is. Checking it twice. And the process coming to try. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you what. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, checking it twice. Okay, so I am making a list and somehow I am checking it twice. I don't want to check it twice. I'm not Santa. I'm not Santa. I'm not Santa and I'm not checking it twice. I make it once and I check it once. That is the thing I have to be doing. Why am I making it twice? I am not Santa. So, how is this being called twice? Why is it being called twice? So, it's the connected callback, right? Oh, I'm not in the four. So, the children do have. Anyway, let's just see. But again, like, here we have. Here we Here we have the WC means sprite container, again sprite container, and the from to sprite. Did I start it as an ending one? Yeah, that's probably. So here, this should be the ending. Now it would show just two. Let's see. Oh, now it stops. That's why. Oh, it was just calling. It was repeating. So Santa, are you using this same mistake as I did? Because you are checking it twice. Because like if you are checking it twice, you have to remove the what do you say? Like you have like a, custom element, right? So when you declare it and there's like an ending to it, right? If you call the ending correctly, you won't call it twice. You have to call the uh, ending. That is what you have to do. Since you are not doing that, that's why you're probably calling it twice. Probably. Most probably. Because that's what was happening like in my code, as you can see here. So here I was not calling this. I mean, this slash denotes like an ending of it, ending of the list making and checking things. So that's how it is. So before it was like I was declaring a for calling it, starting the function, and I'm making the list about this thing. Then I'm again calling the start function. So that makes it called twice, right? That is what was happening. So try to fix that, Mr. Santa Claus. And yeah, so it's a tip from my side. Uh, Merry Christmas. Yeah, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better watch out. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. So, anyway, he's making a list, checking a list twice. If he's not ending it right, Santa Claus has made a HTML mistake. Merry Christmas! Yeah, what a click. Yeah, I am. Anyway, so we're getting containers. The container is like the enough HTML. So we have nothing in there, but we just have entered it as basic program. So that is why the slash n we are getting. So inside that, we don't really need them. What we actually need is let's see what is the children's, how is the children's being presented to us. So we have the children's right. WC image container, snobball, ing, a lot of stuff. Right, attributes, display container. So we don't really, it's this thing does know how to get. So we have the image URL also. So that's how we can be able to receive it. It's like, uh, how do I get the image source or the image content? Right now it's like snowball ing, these URI attributes, the name is ing, snowball ing, snowball learning, learning, learning. Uh, so the zero will be the start position and the one will be the second position, right? So if we have more, we can see one, two, three, four. We also need like a percentage. At what percentage? Like our percentage would be like moving at a constant rate, right? 1 to 100. We can add a time to that. So we have a percentage, and so WC from to sprite can have like a time, total time. Total time could be like 3 seconds, right? And this would be at like this is the start. And this is the end. If we have more than one, it's like when does it end? When does it start? So point in time becomes like zero. Point in time is like 100. So that makes it starts from there, it ends at 100. So this reveals at 0 and this reveals at 100. So that does make it the end. And 3 is there. So starting and then ending. We can have additional components with their own animation, and that would be playing and different. So the total time is 3. Accordingly, we should be providing that over here. So 3 point of time is like shown at shown at shown at 0, shown at 100. Shown at percent is better because like everyone would be using things like that. So shown at percentage is 0, shown at percentage is 100, and yeah, the total time is 3. So like 1, 2, 3, and the 3, once the 3 is reached, uh, so for each percent and each uh, template, I mean the component CSS. So one CSS changes, transforms into another at a, and that is inside a timeline. So if it's like 3 elements, like and you have like 100% of this, and this is like 50%, and this has like a CSS, say a list of CSS. We can call that A, and this is B, and this is C. So this A CSS transforms into B when the timing is like moving to 50%. That is like 1.5 seconds. The CSS of the first element transforms into this. So once it transforms into this, uh, this can be fully hidden, and the control goes over to here, and from here, uh, the timing starts, and this again get transformed slowly, gradually transforms into the CSS of this one. So that is how we can move, right? And if I have multiple frames, that is like 1, 2, 3, 4, like it will be moving at a different kind of sound. So a different each component is like a character or a sprite or single sprite. So if someone is walking, the first step they make, that is sprite one, and the second step they make, that is like sprite two. Like we have like 4 or 5 steps for them to walking to a specific position, and the position is controlled by CSS. That can work. Like according to this, shown at person and the total time is all it needs for multiple frames to happen. Yes, I got it. This is the one. This is the one. I love it. So shown in percentage and the total time for the animation to take place. That is the things. So we have two uh, things that should be there, but at the same time, the shown at person. is not available in the original IMG sprite container. So if I add that there, does it break it? I don't want it to break, so I can just add like a separate thing for that, just for that purpose. But I think it could work like without any problems. It was like an extra thing. What can I do? Right? So see, can also drop this. Anyway, that is MG is quite perfect. Yeah, we children. We have this. Yeah, we have more IMG. These check the attributes. Shown a percent attributes. It's like IMG and shown a percent. Shown a percent. We have this is so right now, if I move this over here, I want the very starting position of the image to match with this. That's that. Since this is a PNG, it is hard to move from one thing to another. So the deformation, so since it's a PNG, if it was an SVG, the forms are modified. The animation that is being happening is you can see that if it was an SVG and you control how the SVG is made at different so one SVG is deformed like the same SVG is used to deform into the ending position or the next thing, next step, next frame in the animation, right? So if I do this, and this can move directly downwards. If I have the CSS applied and keep it at some specific position, this can move over to that position. So I need to get the CSS and the current CSS is of the first and the second one. Okay. Uh, so in JavaScript, uh, gets computer style function also returns C plus apply to a particular HTML. This function returns object that contains all the computer styles, includes values from external size sheet, inline styles, and browser defaults. So using the get property value method, you can extract specific property values. So get computer style. That is the thing we need, and that will give the entire CSS of that object. So here in the containers. Yeah, nothing inside the containers. Children, if children, and so long children. Get the attribute shown at person. Right? It's not a big box. Now, get attribute does not exist of type child node children child nodes one. We don't have child node. What now? So before the child node I was using for the text. So we have the element and the text here. The text is actually a child node, right? So obviously it doesn't containers. We have 0 and 100. See, okay, we got it. The other person shown as person of the containers. Now what we need is come get the CSS also. So here we can say that this thing, this, and OBJ is not the object. You can see show a person is something name is element like so I this is like so I attribute show a person and CSS computer CSS is children children of I dot computed get computed step get computed style. So that will be saved as computer CSS and can just push the entire thing in the OBJ. Is that cover it. This. So computer style and computer style. Computer style. Computer style. Both the treatment styles apply to a memo, but the different data from the values can effect with computer style. Classic CSS way. Then CSS integration, string values, values are reserved percentage and are converted to absolute values. Examples 50% width becomes 200 ds after layout. Also normalizes support examples. Computer science CSS type to OM. Classic CSS returns a style property map read only with the typed CSS object, CSS unique value, CSS keyword value. Value is a computer, not resource. Percentage remains as percentage until layout resolution. Enables direct numeric manipulation, unique conversion, better performance by avoiding string parsing, limited browser support from virtually Firefox. Firefox example, L computer center. We can use L because like layout resolution has not been layout resolution. Let's see what do we get. What what do we get? So what do we get? What do we get? What are we getting? Questions on this. We have two objects. First object is with computed CSS with read-only sizes like 410. Sizes like 410. Is that enough? And element is image plus by container shown at percentage is 0. Is by container shown at percentage is 0. Size is 410. What if I change? Actually, like I did change the size. Size 300 container. Right. Set as we have image. Say, try 300. Width is also 300 what happened it didn't even load. I don't know if like we can code it like this. Okay. So into this time. So it is number. Um, Say this. We have computed CSS. That has a lot of stuff, lot of things. So we have values of it. So it's like accent color zero. Starts with zero to the numbers. Object is like 409. Then we have the keys to the numbering keys. We just and they are linked to another key inside that object, which has a value. Oh, okay. So that's how everything is being placed. We have the entire thing here. So X, Y, so, and width is so low, right? A lot of stuff. Length is 410. What is the length 410? How is the length 410? It's probably because the image is like 410, I guess. Be right back.